Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the LineStar YouTube channel. We are live with yet another Best Ball Underdog Fantasy live draft for NFL season. Alongside Tyler Wiemann, I am Shannon Sommerville. Welcome to the live stream, everybody, and we hope you guys are enjoying your summer. It's a best ball summer, if I've heard correctly, Tyler. How many drafts have you done already? It's over 100,
Well, the
right?
hot best ball
It's the hot
summer.
best ball summer.
Yeah, I am. I mean, altogether, I'm around 150, 160, something like that.
Hot best ball summer. Let's keep it rolling here. And we've got a brand new, speaking of hot best ball summer, a hot brand new tool on the LineStar app. It's the best ball rankings tool, but not just rankings. You can tailor them exactly to how you want them. So on today's live stream, we're going to be going over that tool and using that to help us craft the best possible team on Underdog Fantasy. So first, let's hop into our LineStar account here. Going to switch tabs here and we're going to check out that NFL best ball tool right now. You can sign up for LineStar. And by the way, if you don't have Underdog Fantasy yet, download that app. Use the promo code LineStar. You'll get a deposit match up to $250. Plus, you'll get one free month of LineStar. So that's a great way to get the LineStar tool, take it for a test spin, see how you like the best ball tools. And some of these tools are actually free. So just check it out, linestarapp.com. But for right now, I've got the best ball pulled up. Our rankings are live. A key here, Tyler, that I know that you want to make sure that we emphasize is that you can absolutely adjust these to your liking. So right now, our rankings are pretty much based on, really taking into account past performances. And so it doesn't necessarily account for like rookies that are coming up. So there are some things you can cater to your liking. What I guess are your recommendations as far as settings go for our best ball rankings?
Well, first I would click that adjustments tab, and so we can kind of see what they are. But there's a couple things. So the rookie production generally comes in, the back half of seasons, and that is just a little more important when it comes to best ball because that's when the playoffs matter. Whereas your older veterans, sometimes they're declining, just they're getting a little tired, their body's a little older. So I definitely want to push the rookie adjustments up a little bit so I'm getting more of them. And 2 or 3 is generally where I go. If you want more rookies, obviously go higher. You can, do that how you want. The injury likelihood, I also like to push up. The reason being is running backs get hurt a lot. And if you go just on a projection basis, backup running backs, would be so low in the rankings, you would never get any. So I want to push that up. And then the last one is, do we want to favor playoff schedules or not? If you push this one up, then what happens is essentially the best schedules in the playoff, those players are going to get pushed higher a little bit. So you may not always want that one up because, a schedule or a team now could look totally different come week 17, but I like to factor it. I am huge on the 49ers this year because their playoff schedule is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And it's likely that they're in 3 straight very high scoring games. So I've been trying to get as much 49ers as I can.
So would you put that favor playoffs at a 2, 3? Where have you been putting it?
I've been messing with it a little bit, or, messing with a team adjustment a little bit if I just feel like I'm not getting enough of one particular team.
Mm-hmm. Let's mess with, I need some 49ers in my life.
See, now the one thing is if you push the 49ers up, I wouldn't also have the favor playoffs one on because that's just going to be double counting the 49ers.
Good point. So let's just put it at 2 for playoffs. I'll leave it at that and see what we come up with. All right. So we've got our adjustments there. One thing, if we do have a tutorial video up, by the way, that goes through the best ball tool. So I won't go through all the different things on here right now. But we're just using this and showing you how we're going to use it for the draft. So essentially we have our rankings now. We've done our adjustments. Anything else you want to do before we go ahead and export this so that we can then bring it into our draft?
I mean, we can look through it, but it's not too far off settings that I've been using, so I would say just kind of go with it.
Alrighty, so we're gonna export these projections, and then that will go there, and then we'll head over to good old Underdog Fantasy. Again, if you don't have Underdog Fantasy yet and you haven't been entering this best ball drafts, it's also a great way, in my opinion, to also get ready for your season-long drafts, just to get an idea of like how the drafts are going. So if you're not really a best ball person, it's just good practice. So we're doing Best Ball Mania, and we'll enter into this contest here.
Make sure you do are you going to upload the rankings?
Yes. So walk me through that, because this is the first time actually I'm doing this as well.
Okay, yeah. Don't enter the tournament yet.
All right.
Click rankings in the top left, and then go to NFL and CSB upload. You already downloaded the LineStar ones, right? Okay.
Yep. So
now
we're
just hit CSB upload.
Got it. So we're gonna do this one.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then yeah, you already clicked it and hit save, and we're good to go.
Excellent. We're saved. That was pretty easy. I like that.
It's super easy. And then go back and we can get in a contest here. Am I gonna join you?
Whatever you want. Yeah, why not?
All right.
Ready? I'll wait till you have yours up.
I'm ready to go.
3, 2, 1. Confirm. We are in it to win it, folks. Just fetching our draft here. Cool. All right, so waiting on 10 people. Hopefully you guys can hop in with us if you...
I'm one of the ones you're waiting on, because I did not realize that I didn't have enough in my account yet.
Oh, gotta make sure you got the funds.
I know. I drafted one earlier. I'm in it now. Waiting for 5, so I'm with you.
There we go. This filled up pretty quickly. So
yeah, they've been filling up real quick.
Now, Tyler, with those LineStar rankings, is this essentially my rank is what the LineStar rankings that we just exported, correct?
Yes. So my rank is going to be the LineStar one. The ADP is there. Throughout the draft, I will toggle between the two. Because one thing is, like, there's a couple spots where we're just way above what the ADP is.
Right.
Now, I want those players, but I don't want to take them 2-3 rounds early.
Sure.
And so I'm fine with taking them, 4, 5, 6, 8 picks early if I have to. But like, I'm not going, 15, 20.
Right. And that makes total sense, because a big part of this is just getting the best value you can in your respective draft. Kind of letting the draft come to you is what we've learned over the last few years. So, by the way, too, is there any? I haven't checked a ton of NFL news because we did our MLB props earlier. So I'm knocking on wood that nobody that I know of has gotten hurt. There hasn't been, knock on wood again, no big injury news coming out of camp. The only thing I really heard today coming out of NFL was that Drake May is not looking too good in practices. All right.
I've heard both. I've heard he looked great, and I've heard he looked not great, and that Joe Milton looks insane.
Yeah, that's the report that I heard on the radio as I was having my lunch at Chick-fil-A today. So, by the way,
is that Carlsbad one open?
Oh, yes. And I do need to note, like, whoever designs the structure of the carry out, take out, it's kind of like, it doesn't have a drive-through, but they come out to your car. It's like the most convenient thing. They should be in charge of city planning, whoever has come up with that, because it is the most efficient operation in existence. So I even have my Chick-fil-A cup here. Hopefully it'll bring me good luck. I'm drafting from the 4 spot. Tyler, you're 7.
I like your spot.
I like it. So
no surprise off the top. TMC goes first.
There we go. I still haven't drafted from the first position yet, and I don't know that I will. I'm a little concerned. I guess you kind of have to take CMC, especially given the fact the 49ers playoff schedule, but still, I mean, Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb might be good too. Can easily make an argument for any of them.
You can definitely make an argument either way. I have been going back and forth. Up, you are on the clock.
And I went Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know if that's a hot take or not.
I mean, it's him or Chase in my eyes. I don't think Jefferson should be 4 or 5, which is where he's going. Oh, and I'm on the board here. Now, I don't love going RB, but I'm going Bijan. I think there is a chance that he could be RB1. So,
absolutely. Bijan Robinson, their coach, was saying, and we've talked about this before, that they want to use him just like Christian McCaffrey. So I think big things are definitely headed his way. In fact, I think I have the quote that I pulled up. He's going to play running back first and foremost, and then find creative ways to get him the ball like the Niners do with Christian McCaffrey. Continuing to tailor and tweak things. Just find ways to get him the ball. Love that. Love that for fantasy.
And there's so many guys now that are kind of reaching on him, like willing to take him at 2, 3. And because of that, I'm just getting less and less because I'm getting him between like 6 and 8, and then outside of that, I'm taking one of my wide receivers.
Following Atlanta's bye week 11, Robinson scored at least 19 PPR points in 4 of 7 games, including 2 games with at least 25 PPR points. That's pretty good. All right. Tyler, you're coming up here again. So Bijan.
I am. Is it possible that you could bring the board up a little further on your screen so we can see a little bit more?
See. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. In terms of this board, are you talking about?
Yeah.
Or the
I don't know if you could click the whole board and just bring it higher on your screen.
Let's see. Can you see this?
No. Sorry, I'm in pick mode here.
Okay.
I'll go Olave. I don't love, but I don't. Olave is a hard one. They just don't have much for pass catchers.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's a good pick. I'm a little like the Saints offense is definitely something that concerns me. That offensive line kind of terrifies me a little bit. All right, where am I headed here?
DeAndre Hopkins suffered a knee injury. Oh, you pick and then I'll.
Okay, let me just grab Devontae Adams here. All right.
So DeAndre Hopkins suffered a knee injury during practice this week and is expected that he'll miss roughly 4 to 6 weeks. So with the Bears opening on September 8th, he might miss week 1, maybe even miss week 2.
Wow. That's pretty significant.
Breaking news here.
Good to know as we continue on in our best ball drafts.
Yes, and that is one thing you definitely should keep up with news.
Yep. But yeah, I'm excited. So I took Devontae there. I gotta kind of pay attention here.
So this is a spot for you that I would start kind of looking at both ADP and rank because we love Jacobs.
Right.
Like projected to probably get a ton of workload, but I'm able to get him at like 55, 60. Like I'm not going to take him at 28,
exactly. That's a good point. All right. So ADP here. All right. I'm a little concerned Kyron Williams, but I'm going to take him because he was a stud. So the only thing that I'm concerned about is, and I think the Rams are concerned too, judging by they went for a running back in the draft pretty high. He's had, what was it, ankle issues. So that's my only concern there. But I still think that Rams offense is really good. Plus, I think they're another one of those teams. If we can go back and look, if we go to the game's heat map, do they have
I'll
a
go with Stephon Diggs.
like
Who are you
week
taking?
15? Sorry,
Yeah.
like I'm just toggling over to LineStar and looking at the game's heat map. So like they play week 15 against the Rams do against the 49ers. So
Yeah. And week 6 or week 17, it's Arizona. The Rams have 2 good matchups or 2 higher scoring matchups in the playoffs.
let me get you guys back to the big board. I'm having trouble like moving it up so you guys can kind of, I'm trying to show you guys so that you can kind of see what's been going on. Tyler, I think I missed your last pick. Oh, Stephon Diggs. Yeah, you and I had talked about in one of our shows how you think, given the fact that Stephon Diggs is now on a team that has, really great receivers already, that it might get too crowded, but it might actually not be as bad as we think it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think he's going to get plenty of work. If one of those receivers goes down, it's going to be an absolute smash spot. And that's, the thing for me is that why I'm still taking them. I think that if all 3 stay healthy all year long, they're going a little too early. But the upside is just so huge if one gets hurt.
So Tyler, you are on the clock here,
I'm
buddy.
on the clock.
Let's see who he can choose from.
Kind of bummed that
Using our rankings.
That Hurts is gone because that's who I wanted, or I wanted Cooper, who went right in front of me. I don't love it, but I'm going T. Higgins.
Let's see.
I just don't have enough of Higgins yet. He has upside. He just gets hurt.
Let's see. I am. Let's see. Gonna go with Christian Kirk here. The fact that Calvin Ridley, the fact that Calvin Ridley is no longer there to compete with him, I think that will be beneficial for Kirk, who already had a pretty, he can put up those big weeks that we want to see. And I think that the fact that the Jags paid Trevor Lawrence they think he's still their guy. And I think you brought up a pretty good stat on one of our shows, which was like the amount of, I guess, catchable balls he actually threw. Or do you remember that stat that I'm talking about?
Yeah, there was the most loss of any quarterback for EPA per play due to drops was Trevor Lawrence. So
yeah, that's insane.
And some of those balls would have been like highlight reel plays that they counted as a drop, but it's Lawrence firing in tough situations and giving the receivers a chance to make that play. So I don't think it's necessarily, a bad thing. I think that there's definitely upside with Trevor Lawrence because of that, as well as his receivers. Kirk is my second highest owned receiver right now.
Wow. That's crazy, but not that crazy. Let me pull up some numbers on him.
Well, the thing is that, he was quite, you're next up. So you should
focus. All right. So ADP is really liking Trey McBride here next.
You also have the Kyron, so you do have week 17 correlation there.
So
with Trey McBride.
Yeah, let's
but you'll probably miss Jacobs, which we love. So
yes. So I'm gonna go Trey McBride had an awesome season last year. It got off to a slow start, but let's see. He was let me look at this stat. 2 or fewer catches in the first 5 games, and then just kind of from week 8 on. From week 8 on, McBride was TE3 in PPR scoring, averaging 6.6 catches and 65.5 receiving yards per game. Now the Cardinals obviously going to look to Marvin Harrison Jr., but I think McBride still figures to be the number 2 target on that offense. That's pretty fantasy friendly.
Yeah, I mean, he could. The thing is that he had all the receptions last year, lacked touchdowns. Now he might get more touchdowns. They're a better offense. They're gonna score more. I'm interested in McBride for sure. And I just picked and I went. I reached on Kyle Pitts a little bit. I don't have another pick until 66, and I just went the correlation factor because I have Bijan.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Jacobs got picked before me, and I was going to go with him, but got spooked.
The Atlanta offense is something I'm looking forward to seeing, and I really like that Bijan pick. I've seen a lot of analysts talking about how big of an impact he's going to have this season, especially on a more friendly offense, and hopefully, good thing Arthur Smith is not there to just remember he had one game where he had one carry, or what was that, week 4 or something like that. And he just sat the whole game, but that was crazy.
I'm going to go with the rookie Xavier Worthy.
Ooh, another good pick. Let's see. I'm coming up around. I love Xavier Worthy.
KC's kind of in a similar spot as of Houston. Good quarterback. It's going to be a good offense. They have 3 guys that can do it. Well, 4 guys, pass catcher wise. If there's an injury and, the target tree shortens a little bit, and then all of a sudden, one of them goes off.
Yeah. Huh. So I'm glad that we know now about DeAndre Hopkins and that news. I really like Lad McCollum. Let's see what our rankings like here. Oh, Zamir White. That's a pretty good one, but
it's too early though.
Too early for that. Do I get CJ Stroud?
Do you have a Houston?
No.
Yeah, there's not much left for Houston receivers.
Oh, and I think I got Joe Mixon. Oh, Zamir White. It went off of.
He went off your rank.
It went off my ranks. That's
that is the one thing is.
I gotta queue him up.
Yeah, if you it'll always default to your rank versus the ADP.
Gotcha.
So you got to be on it a little bit.
I feel like on this draft, I'm usually I make 1 or 2 mistakes because I'm too busy chatting away here. But Zamir White is a guy I really like. Anyways, Georgia Bulldog. I went into it on. We released a show yesterday that was the. Let me pull up this for you guys so you can see what's going on. The guys who we think could put up Kyron Williams numbers from last year, and Zamir White was one of the guys that I think could. Obviously, the opportunity is there in Las Vegas. I think it'll be Antonio Pierce is a guy who probably likes to play really good defense and kind of a ground and pound sort of offense, so that lends itself to Zamir White. And then you've got, Josh Jacobs no longer there, and when White did get the call up to the RB1 spot, he absolutely smashed for fantasy owners. So I like the spot there. Plus his off-season workout videos, if you've seen him, he just is full beast mode in the weight room. All those Georgia running backs, it seems like their workouts are just so crazy.
He's so big that I wonder if he can still move.
Right? You're how can you even? Yeah. It's crazy with those guys. All right. So I'm coming up again, and I don't want to get caught on my heels. So this is a look at my team on the right. Kyron, Zamir, Monra. All right. So Let's see what kind of quarterbacks we got here. No, I think we still got good quarterbacks. So
there's plenty of quarterbacks still.
Yeah, there's not like reason to really reach. I've also got, I kind of like Montgomery because I have Amon-Ra, so I'm going to go there. But yeah, it seems like still plenty of quarterbacks, although it seems like a lot of teams are starting to pick them up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the like stud guys that have gone, and now Stroud is kind of in a league of his own. Oh, and I'm gonna take him because he has 9 picks past ADP.
Yeah,
and I have
not
Diggs.
bad. Yep, that's perfect. That worked out for you perfectly. Let's go back to the big board here. If people are just joining us, I want to make sure that they can see what's been happening. There we go. All right, so CJ Stroud, not a bad spot there for second most passing yards per game, led the league in touchdown to interception ratio. And the addition of Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon. Come on. That's a good
one. I mean, he had a great rookie season, but hers like per game fantasy output really wasn't like that amazing. I do kind of think he's being overdrafted a little. But I mean, if he's going to make another step, he has all the weapons in the world to do it.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's see here.
All right.
How many picks away am I?
Until I am up.
Yep. So you are, pretty heavy wide receiver. Have you been doing a lot of the zero RB, or have you been doing hero RB? What's your philosophy on that?
Pretty much either hero or zero. I have very few lineups that have, 2 stud-like running backs. And I am up. I'm going to go with good old DeAndre Swift. Although with Higgins, I am tempted to go Burrow and just be done with quarterback. But I'm gonna push that.
I'm gonna go Curtis Samuel here. I really like him and his season outlook on one of the most high-powered offense. He's one of the fastest guys. Kind of an underrated guy. I mean, if you're able to produce with how many quarterbacks in Washington?
He's had so many bad quarterbacks.
Yes, so many bad. Now he's going to be linking up with the best that he'll ever have had, and with OC Joe Brady, who he has a connection with from his time back in Carolina in 2020. Let's see. Yeah, that's where he registered a career high 70 backfield snaps under Brady. So that could be an interesting one. The last time Samuel played for Joe Brady, he had 97 targets, 77 receptions, 851 yards. So provides them with a lot of versatility. So should be interesting. I am back on the clock here. Let's see who we got at quarterback. My ranking. Jaden Daniels is I know. I didn't mean to be, but that one Zamir White mistake cost me. I'm not as quick with the trigger on these drafts when I'm doing the YouTube live.
It definitely is harder because there's trying to be multiple things you're covering instead of just one.
I make these mistakes for you guys so that you don't make them at home. All right. Here I'd like to go quarterback here. I'm gonna go with Brock Purdy. Any thoughts on Brock Purdy from a fantasy perspective?
I like him. I love, the offense, and I think there's big time upside in Purdy and having those stacks. I've said I want San Francisco, so all right, I am on the clock here, and I'm gonna do something I haven't really done much and going Raheem Mostert. I have very, very little of Mostert, and he had so many touchdowns last year. Can he repeat? Doubtful, but there's a chance.
Yeah, Mostert's a guy that can absolutely put up numbers, but you do worry about his overall health. How old? 31? What is his?
32.
32. But hey, maybe he's found the fountain of youth. I don't know, but that offense is another one that you like to get guys for fantasy.
I maybe should have taken Daniels there. Atlanta plays Washington week 17, so there's nice correlation. If I have Daniels, I already have two of the key pieces for Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's stacking partners that I like for Washington later. So,
yeah,
I maybe should have done that, but oh well.
I'm gonna go over my team because I quite frankly forgot who I have. Let's see. Yeah, a little too running back heavy again. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. But
I'm gonna take a little ADP value in Cortland Sutton now, getting him almost 20 picks late.
Ooh. Let's see. I'm looking at, what receivers we have left. It's not pretty. You know what?
Yeah.
There's one that I like here, and I'm going to just pull the trigger. Oh, wait, I lost him. There we go. A.D. Mitchell. Even though I don't love, I don't know how that offense is going to look either. Was it
he's deep ball threat. He could definitely have some big games. I think there's a lot of question
that with that offense as a whole. Like he could
Their throw rate is what worries me.
He could play like third fiddle to Pittman and Josh Downs, and I've heard some good things about Josh Downs recently as well. But you mentioned the big play, which is for fantasy purposes what we need. So it could have like those spike weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I got coming up. Who do I want? Let's see what other wide receivers we're working with here.
Got your boy Mike Will.
I know. I think I'm gonna do it.
I like Judy a lot.
He's on the PUP list, which I hate because he's so injury prone.
He is.
But knowing that the offense, if Aaron Rodgers and they could have a good offense. I've been burned by the Jets so many times, so that's my team. So, but I don't mind taking a shot here when I need some receivers that could have big numbers. And
I went with old Jerry Jeudy there. I actually think there's a very good path to Judy's success. That offense in Cleveland's totally changing this year without Chubb. They're going to throw more. They're spreading it out more. I think Jeudy, they paid him. They obviously believe in him.
Speaking of Nick Chubb, do you think how much are we thinking we're going to lose him? Because I've heard some things that think he's going to be back earlier than anticipated off of that pretty devastating knee injury where he had multiple surgeries on his knee.
I'm pretty much out on him.
You are. Okay.
I have one team with him. Not really loving it. I just think he's being taken too early, because he's pretty much like, I'm hoping taking him, I hope he's 75% by the playoffs.
Yeah. But even a 75% Nick Chubb is like still better than a lot of 100% running backs. Just saying.
Absolutely. But I've been taking a ton of Jerome Ford, a ton of Dante Foreman, who, if Chubb doesn't come back, those two guys are going to be the ones. Dante Foreman did get hurt today. However, all signs are that he's good. So I don't think we should really worry about that. He got carted off, went to the hospital, medically checked out, and then cleared. So he should be good to go. And speaking of Jerome Ford, I am taking him. Another ADP value there.
Some interesting wide receivers here, but let's see who I already have as far as.
You need to hurry up here. 12 seconds.
We'll go with Gabe Davis. All right.
I like some Gabe Davis.
I kind of think I have maybe a little too much of Jacksonville, but that's okay.
Let's check out. What does the Shansum team got right now? All right, you got Amon-Ra, you got Devontae, Kyron, Christian Kirk, Trey McBride, Samir White, David Montgomery, Curtis Samuel, Brock, Mitchell, Mike Wills, Gabe Davis. Ooh, you need to work on some stacks there, girl.
Yep. I kind of have been not stacking at all. I got a couple.
Well,
I'm trying to do too many things at once here.
There's stack partners. You can go Rodgers. Corley is going around 180 or so. So you could go Mike Will and Corley with Rodgers, or Conklin and what? Rodgers. Definitely ways to go there. Can't believe Tua is still there at 125.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Or at 146. That would be a slam dunk if you took Waddle or Hill.
Yep, that would be good. Oh no! Oh, I missed my shot here. Who did I get? Oh no! That was a punishment.
I really wish I had more to stack Tua with than Raheem Mostert, because I would be slamming that. I can't believe he's still there. Somebody is getting a gem, but I just can't do it. And I'm going to take Kirk Cousins.
I'm a little nervous about Kirk Cousins. I don't know. From a fantasy perspective, he's got a ton of weapons, though. So that's the good news. Just coming off of the injury. But I guess modern medicine is pretty brilliant right now. Look at Aaron Rodgers, too, coming back from that.
It's not like he's a mobile quarterback. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
that
a good point.
worried. It's not like he needs his legs to succeed. If he's relying on his legs, we got bigger problems.
Yeah. All right, let's try to
I can't
get
believe Tua's still there. That's crazy.
queued up here. Need some running backs.
So, how far does Tua have to drop to take him unstacked?
Yeah, that's crazy. Tua, somebody's got to take him, right?
I mean, if he's still there at one, okay, he went. I was considering just taking him with with Raheem Mostert, just because he's so late. I mean, he went 33 picks behind ADP. That's wild.
There we go.
All right, I'm going to go with good old Noah Fant. Maybe should have. Whoa, you got eight wide receivers now. You came out of nowhere.
All right, I'm going with Tyler Conklin.
You didn't just lock up good old Rodgers?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, no. Nah.
He might fall back to you. Unless I snipe you.
Are you going to steal Aaron Rodgers? I don't know how I feel about as I draft Jets players, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about the Jets this year. As a Jets fan, I'm deeply concerned because they've been burned so many times.
It's hard to be unbiased in your own fandom at times.
But I feel like it's fun to root for him, so let me yeah. Unless eggs and toast grabs Rodgers, which could happen. Who else is Aaron Rodgers, though, the concern, obviously, coming off that injury. Yes, we made improvements to the offensive line for him, but
I think he is a no-brainer pick for you right there. You got an ADP value and you got stacked. You also have Buffalo players that's who they play week 17.
nice.
Your lack of stacking is coming around with some backdoor.
Is early, though, like I feel like, and tell me how you approach it, but like I don't try to like force stacks early, or like I feel like it kind of like towards the back end is when you can kind of get more of that value. How do you approach stacking?
I am on the clock right now,
Yeah,
so
okay.
let me make my pick and then
Put a pin
I will
in that.
talk about that. So if I'm on the clock and I like, say, the situation, where I took Kyle Pitts, like I reached on Pitts a little bit. I got him at 55. His ADP is 60. There's, receivers there that I liked, but I don't really care for those guys. Like over Pitts, I had the correlation, so that's the tiebreaker. I went Pitts.
Yeah.
So earlier in the draft, I'm using it more as it's a tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Later in the draft, it's more like I have to try and make my correlations happen because that's how, my path to real success. So I'm much more interested later in the draft on the correlation than earlier.
Mm-hmm. Would you much rather have guys on the same team or guys that are playing, like, say you had to make a decision between who had a better playoff schedule or something like that? Are there a hierarchy of criteria for you for later rounds?
It really depends the situation of my team as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff schedule definitely factors in, but if it's just a one-off, then it's really not doing that much. Like to say that guy is going to be healthy
Mm-hmm.
and be a key spot in, say, week 17, you just can't really project that.
Yeah.
So I would probably lean to the correlation more, which I'm doing right now with taking Luke McCaffrey because I have Atlanta stack. Washington plays them week 17, and I like McCaffrey's upside.
Nice.
I think there is a world where Dotson just isn't that good, and McCaffrey is used a lot.
All right, I'm on the clock here, I guess. I know that there is news that Mitchell might be out, or I mean, he's facing a challenge for a backup role, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
I don't really believe that.
You don't? Okay, that made me feel better because
I think it's pretty much his job.
Are they just motivating him? Let me pull up the report.
Well, I mean, the issue there is Mitchell's really good, but he just keeps getting hurt. But their offense also kind of needs guys to be able to catch the ball, and he's not great at that.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the one way he kind of loses out in, not being the guy.
Yeah. The report was, I'm coming up here, but I guess
Damn, Fields is starting to go early.
Nothing against Elijah. There's been no fall off, but JP, what did he say? Wasn't there right away, but he got there pretty quick. So it might just be coach speak trying to.
You're on the clock.
Give his guy rah-rah speech. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to go. See, this is like a. I'm going to go Kendra. Oh, no, he hurt himself. Braylon Allen.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
I would have won Braylon over Estime with your team anyways.
Yeah, with the Jets correlation there.
Yeah,
I don't. Do I love it? I don't know yet. It's we'll see, I guess. But I don't know. These Jets picks are hard, man, because I want them to do so well. But I feel like just me drafting them in best ball is a jinx to them. Do you ever feel that way with your teams?
Yes.
Although you're not as. Who is your NFL team? The Chargers?
I don't have one anymore. The Chargers moved away, so
yeah, so you got to adopt a new one. Okay,
yeah,
we need to take.
Look, I tried to adopt a new one, and I just
You did.
My heart just wasn't in it. Like right after the Chargers left, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a Seahawks fan because at the time, they had drafted. I'm forgetting the guy's name right now. He had a twin that was also in the league, but he didn't have a hand.
Oh,
is it?
Yes.
Shaq Barrett or
yeah. I know who you're talking about.
He played for the Seahawks. Anyways,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I loved that story, and they had Rashad Penny at the time, who was their first round draft pick and went to SDSU. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just try and be a Seahawks fan because I liked those and I just couldn't do it. And there's no other team that really there's a storyline like that for me. So once I felt like the heart wasn't really in it, I was just gave up on it.
Griffin. It was.
Yes, Griffin.
Shaquem Griffin, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're coming up on final round here. Flew by. So put your nominations in our comments of what team you would like Tyler to adopt for this coming 2024 season.
Somebody just said Shaq Griffin, UCF. I just saw that too, so thank you. And I'm going to just round out my team with some extra Houston correlation and go with Noah Brown. Going to need an injury to play a lot, but we saw him play pretty well last season when he got his shot.
Who am I going to go with for my very last pick? We are on the clock, and I'm going off the wall here. Who's ready for it? Tez Walker. Let's go. He's going to be the next.
I like it.
He has identical stats from college to Puka Nacua. Just saying, we're just taking a shot with our last pick. Total shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Great offense. With a great coordinator from the University of Georgia, of course, in Todd Monken.
You got to circle back to how you're a homer somehow, huh?
If you noticed that, let's see, the most recent one. If you have noticed by now, I've got some dogs on my team. We got Samir White. Who else is a Bulldog? Let's go through my team right now. How do you feel like you did? I kind of messed up on a few picks, but...
I feel like my team's fine. I have CJ Stroud at QB with Kirk Cousins, then Bijan Robinson, DeAndre Swift, Raheem Mostert, Jerome Ford, and Ray Davis for running back. So I feel like I'm pretty stacked at running back. And then wide receiver, Chris Olave, Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins, Xavier Worthy, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Luke McCaffrey, Rondale Moore, Noah Brown with tight end Kyle Pitts and Noah Fant. So I like the team as a whole. We'll see. I think there's just question marks quarterback wise and how good these teams will be.
So I'll just scroll through one more time for everyone that was watching. That's kind of how the first part of the draft went, and I'll slowly kind of scroll through here. I definitely made some mistakes here in this draft. That Zamir White was a little crazy at 69. Didn't mean to do that, but hey, I'll take a Bulldog any day. And then, I like my wide receivers. Although, Quentin Johnson was the other one that I was not meaning to draft. So, sometimes
who knows? Those two could be the guys you needed.
Those two are the guys, man. I lucked out big time because it's like, didn't mean to do that. But overall, a really great draft. I'm going to go back one more time to that LineStar tool. We referred a couple times to the playoffs and the schedules and the implied point totals, which Tyler mentioned was kind of a factor in how he chose certain guys. So that's available to you on the LineStar Best Ball tool, as is those rankings where we imported them just directly into And it was so easy. If you walked through it with us at the beginning, it was just super easy. We kind of changed them to our liking based on the rookies, the injuries, the playoff odds. You can also do, if you are someone who's doing a lot of these best ball drafts and you want to get a certain team, as Tyler mentioned, you can adjust to make sure that you favor certain teams in your draft and then export that. We saw it was super easy to do. Again, this is at linestarapp.com, and the tool is the best ball. Also updated depth charts, which, as you know, during camp, going to be changing constantly. In addition, we've also got a ton of other videos on our YouTube channel about the different breakout candidates that we are eyeing in best ball and for season-long fantasy as well. ADP movers, you can keep track of that. And also what I've been doing too is making notes in the player chat. So I've been trying to get some notes in the chat so that you can directly see some different stats that we've come across as well. So just something to note there. Good luck in all of your various drafts. Thirsty Thursday. Let's go crush these drafts and win some money. Good luck this season in NFL. And again, linestarapp.com. If you could do us a favor too before we end this, like this video, subscribe to your channel, give us a comment below. Thanks for joining this live best ball draft. We'll be sure to bring you guys more best ball drafts, and I'll try to pay closer attention to the actual draft and not my different windows. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.